Hi, everybody. Welcome to our wonderful Monday and to our Altenew live stream. And welcome to Amy's Inspiration Station. Hi, Stacy from South Florida. Hi, Avril from Ireland. How are you doing over there? Hopefully it's a little bit cooler for you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about how to capture those summer memories. And please take a moment right now, if you've joined us, to go ahead and share this live stream, and you'll be entered to win a gift card to Altenew for $15. So let us know that you shared that. And if you guys could please say hello to Kat, who is behind the badge. Hi, Kat. It's so nice. It's great working with you today. So I'm excited that you're with me. And hi, Barbara. Hi, Cece from Sweden. Oh, Sue, how are you doing? Hi, Ria. Thank you guys so much for joining today. It's wonderful. Hi, Nancy. Oh, I bet San Francisco is very, very nice and cool. Stacy, South Florida's got to be a little bit hot. And it's so great. Oh, hi, Teresa. How are you doing today? It's so wonderful that you guys are joining today. And again, please take a moment to share this. Thank you, Joan, for sharing over to Facebook. And thank you so much, Sue, for sharing. Thank you, Avril, for sharing. And you can be entered to win a gift card. And Kat is behind the badge today, so please make sure you go ahead and give Kat a little smile and a little hello. So thank you so much, Kat, for joining us today. So today I wanted to talk about capturing memories. We are at this point, maybe some of you have been thinking about kind of taking some trips and maybe exploring. It is summer for us up here in the Northern Hemisphere. And I recently just came back from sunny Florida. Debbie, I was just down there. Hi, Lizette from Chicago. And I had a great trip with my family. And I wanted to preserve that as a memory. So I'm going to actually, usually I do cards, but today I'm going to make a 12 by 12 scrapbook page, but it's not going to go in a scrapbook. Instead, I bought a float frame. So I just got this at any sort of, I got it at Joann's. You could get it at any store. And this is going to fit a 12 by 12 page. And so I'm going to take some of the pictures from my vacation with my family, and it's going to end up in this. So that way I can put it up on my wall. And every time I walk by that, I can be remembered of this vacation, which we had a really, really great time. So, oh, thanks, Anne. Thank you for sharing. Barbara, thank you for sharing. Lizette, thank you so much for sharing. Oh, I hope Chicago's doing okay, Lizette. I know it's a little in Indiana, yeah, hot and muggy. I know that's coming our way. I'm up in New England in the United States. So I was fortunate enough to travel down to Florida, and we went to wonderful beach, and it was a lot of fun. And so I want to build and capture those summer memories, so that way I can kind of look back at that kind of all year long. So it's up on my wall and I can see it. So I hope that this inspires you to kind of get those photos off of your phone and put them into something and turn it into a little bit of wall decor and something that you can kind of treasure throughout the year. And if and when people come over to your house, you can go ahead and, it just gives you a kind of some talking points to talk about those summer memories that you had. So I'm going to turn the camera down. Just a reminder that if you share this today over on your social media, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card from Altenew. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this down. So we're focusing today on getting those pictures out of the phone, giving you some inspiration, and building a little bit of wall decor. So I'm going to change over. And I would love to know, while I'm switching, hi, Sue. As I'm switching down my cameras, I'd love to know if you have been traveling, where have you gone? Or if you would like to travel when you're ready, or when it's available, where would you like to go? Where would you like to travel? So let me know. So if you have been traveling, where have you been? And where is it that you would like to go? So I wanted to start out with my process a little bit for scrapbooking. And again, this is about kind of capturing those memories and bringing those memories out from your phone and getting them into a place where you can really, really see them. Thanks, Rosie. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy this this video. It's definitely a good one. So I actually start off with the color wheel, and I pick I pick 3 photos. So I took a ton of photos, but I picked 3 photos from our trip. And this is my dad, and this is his wife, Elaine, and then my 2 kids. And I thought this would be a great gift for my dad and Elaine, and they would really, really love this. Absolutely. Oh, Serena, I'd love to be at the Olympics too. I know. Kat or someone can help Mona out about how to share this over. So again, you can be entered to win a $15 gift card to if you share this out. I'd love to go to the Ozarks. Those are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So what I started with is I just noticed that there's a lot of blues here, and so I just used my color wheel. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of looking at this tri-blend. So you can see that we have blue, magenta, and yellow. And so that's going to be kind of my color palette. And from there, I pulled out some Altenew crisp inks. And for those of you who use Altenew as kind of card making, they actually sell scrapbook paper. And so they actually sell sheets of really great 80-pound, nice crisp white scrapbook paper. And what I'm working on today is actually the Altenew mat. It's the alignment mat, and it actually has, there's a little bit of a thicker white border here that I can go ahead and I can put my scrapbook page right in there, and I can tack it down so it can stay nice and straight for me. So that way. Oh, USVI, Debbie, that's going to be great. Oh, thanks, Avril. Yes, that was on Thursday. And that matches my scrapbook page yet. So, and New Zealand, I've been over to New Zealand. It is beautiful over there. So I'm going to be using the Deep Blue Seas ink, and that's going to be my blue. And then I pulled in Pocketful of Sunshine, which is going to be my yellow. And I noticed that Evan's got a little bit of a coral sweatshirt on, and Savannah has a little bit of a coral shirt. So I actually grabbed, just in case if I need it, the Martian Terrain inks, because that's got a little bit of coral in there. And then for my pink and magenta, I grabbed the Spring Bouquet set. And so these are the inks that I'm going to be working with today. And then I also, you got to tone it down a little bit. And so I also like to pick a gray, and I'm actually going to grab the Gentleman's Gray set, and that just gives it a little bit of a neutral look to it. So that's where I'm going to start. So I have my 3 pictures here, and oh, Cheryl, yes, Alabama and your sister in Florida. That's so wonderful. I'm glad you guys have some. And even if you're like, you haven't traveled since COVID or since the lockdown, wherever you are, think about those places where maybe you have been and you just haven't done anything with those photos yet. This is a really great idea to kind of pull those photos out of your phone and get them up on the wall, and then you can see them. And you can, experience that travel over and over again and all the great times that you have. So you can see what I've done here is I've made a little bit of a block. So you can see I have a square within a square. And what I'm doing here is I'm kind of, I'm looking at how to put these together. And so I'm actually going to end up cutting a lot of the pictures off just to make them a little bit smaller so they fit inside of my block. But I also want to make sure that I give them a little bit of texture and a place to sit on. But I don't, because I'm putting this into a photo frame, I can't have a lot of layers. So if I was putting this in a scrapbook page, I could kind of have layers and do a bunch of things with it. But since it's going to be in a photo frame, I have to keep those layers a little bit on the lower side. And so one of the best ways to do that is actually with a stencil. And so I'm actually going to start with the cloud scene stencil. And I absolutely love this stencil for creating some nice texture. It is clouds, and I'm like, this kind of goes nicely with the ocean, and it goes really, really nicely with, kind of the theme of this, and it lets me add some blue in. But it really is just a really nice way to add a little bit of a background. So I'm going to use the ink blending tool from Altenew, and I'm going to grab from the Deep Blue Seas because I've already selected all my colors. So I'm just going to grab Sea Breeze and Turquoise, and I'm probably going to touch a bit of that Tide Blue in here. Might be a little bit too dark for me. And I'm thinking again about that square within a square. So I don't want to go all over the page with my stencil, but I do want to give my inner square a little bit of something to kind of stick to. So I'm just going to ink this up, and I'm just going to start to lay down color. And this stencil is really, really super easy to work with. And you start to lay down color. Remember, I don't really care so much about the middle because my photos are going to be all over that. But I'm just going to lay down some quick color. And the stencil allows me to have some texture. And I got to think about the sides of this. So I'm going to be turning my stencil. And again, I don't care about the center because my stuff is going to be there. So I'm just going to turn this and give it a little bit of texture. And I pulled out some different colors because I want to have a little bit of light and a little bit of dark. And you can see the nice clouds that are forming here. And it really does look like we were when we were at the beach. And we're able to kind of play in the waves and kind of do a lot there. So maybe you have a place where you were and you would like to kind of think about how you might like to put this together. So you can see I'm just kind of making a big cloud here. And the thing about scrapbooking, it's about building up layers. And so you want to kind of add these techniques, and we're going to build up those layers. And again, today what we're focusing on is getting those pictures out of your phone. And I'm making a gift that I'm going to give to my dad so he can kind of remember our time together. And it's a display piece that, you know, people can come in and ask about it. So he can remember, we can kind of remember our trip together. So if you have a place, or are you somebody who, do you kind of keep your photos in the phone? Or are you somebody that like puts it into photo albums, or do you end up scrapbooking it? All right, so I'm just going to check this. I think I need a little bit more on the bottom. So you can see, just by adding that little bit of texture, we just have something that gives our piece a little bit of a frame. And that's the nice thing about this, is that it's giving it a little bit of a frame. And Sue, this cloud stencil, I agree. It is so, so great. Ooh, Coastal Pacific Cruise in October, Lizette. That's going to be beautiful. And Lizette, Denver. Yes, beautiful. Yeah, so let me know, is this something that you are thinking about, that you would like to get those pictures out and kind of do stuff with? And I have a tendency, because cards are so much faster, I have a tendency to kind of stay with cards, and I don't always scrapbook as much as I should and kind of get those memories out. So that's why I wanted to do this one with you guys today. So to give you a little bit of inspiration to kind of get these photos out so you can see where you've been and really kind of talk about those memories and cherish that time that you've had. All right, so I'm just adding a little bit more in just so I can give this a little bit of a frame. All right, so what we're going to do now, all right, that was pretty good. All right, I'm going to go back in just with a little bit of this turquoise. And I'm just going to kind of darken up some of these edges. And this just gives it a little bit of a variation. So we end up with a little dark and a little bit of light. And remember our colors. So we're starting off, our color selection today was turquoise. We have a little bit of yellow, orange, and some kind of coral pink. All right, that looks pretty good. Might need a little bit more, but we'll see. Oh, Sue, that's a good idea with travel notebooks. And yes, Alan, I know, me too. Sometimes I just don't have the time, or I feel like I don't have the time, but it's so important to do these things. All right, so I'm going to take these photos and I'm going to try to, again, I'm going to block them. I'm going to cut this one last And I'm going to cut these two first. And I have to say, when we were on vacation, my dad made pancakes for the kids every day. And so they got Grandpa Tony pancakes, and they were elated about it. They couldn't get enough. And of course, we came back from vacation. They're like, where's my pancakes? And I'm like, no way, man. There's no pancakes coming. Sorry. Sorry about that. All right. So I'm just cutting these down. I'm going to have both of these, and I'm going to end up cutting off a lot of little feet here. So, but it's okay to do that. It's okay because we're kind of focusing in and narrowing the subject. So it's all right to cut off some body parts because you want to really focus in on exactly what it is that we're looking for. And that's the main idea of the picture. All right, so I'm going to double check. Normally I measure all this stuff, but I didn't this time. All right, so I'm going to leave those two. I'm going to see how they go. This one is 4 3/4. All right. Get a little bit more of the hat off. There we go. 4 3/4. A little bit. Okay, so let's see how we do. I'm going to see if I need to trim the side of this or if that's going to work out okay. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, so you can see that I kind of built this frame within a frame. And so that's what we have right now. So I'm going to take this picture and I'm going to narrow this up just a little bit. And I'm going to cut off one of the sides of this just to kind of make it work a little bit better. If any of you guys are, actually, could you let me know, are you guys, do you like scrapbooking? Does scrapbooking kind of like make you a little bit nervous and you're not so sure what to kind of do about it? Or is scrapbooking something that you know you love doing or you used to do? Oh, hi, Carmen. Hello from Toronto. I hope you're doing well. And Teresa, I know there's nothing better than pancakes for dinner. It really is the best. Love pancakes for dinner. All right, so we're going to cut Evan off just a little bit here. That's fine. And we're going to cut off a little bit of Santa. Okay. All right, so there we go. So I've trimmed my pictures down. So these two I have at the right height. And even though the width is a little bit different, that's okay. But I've made a little rectangle out of a rectangle. And I want to add in a little bit of this orange. So what I did is I just went through my stash and I got a color that's very similar, but we're going to kind of zhuzh this up just a little bit in just a second. So I said that these were, the height of these were 4 3/4. So I'm going to make this 5. Grab my other trimmer. And I'm going to do 5 1/4. Bringing out both trimmers today. Big one and the little one. All right, so that looks pretty good. So what this does is it just gives us another little color to kind of, just gives us another little pop of color. And I'm going to trim off the side of this just to kind of cut that down a little bit. So, oh, Ellen, yes, I know. I feel like, yeah, YouTube is quiet today. Rosie, let us know how it's going on YouTube. Go ahead, keep on chatting. Love it. And Mona, I used to scrapbook, but only with friends. They always, I know, I have a friend who I always have to ask her opinion about everything I do for scrapbooking. All right, so now what we have is we got a little pop of color from this orange, and that goes along with what we have here. And I can go back in with my stencil and fill in some of these areas. I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but I'll get there. Now, I want to take this and I want to add a little bit of color to it. So what I can do, and it's really easy when you have a piece of colored cardstock, And what you can do is you can actually add in color. So we're going to grab some ink from the Martian Terrain collection. And I'm just going to make that a little bit darker on the sides. And all I'm looking for is just a little bit of variation and just a little bit of something different. So I'm going to grab, this is a new, look at that, not used. All for you guys, not used yet. And I'm going to grab a little bit of this Canyon clay and see how it looks with this. And I'm going to do this under a piece of paper so I don't mess up my area too much. All right, so I'm going to come in and I'm just going to darken this edge. And all I'm doing is just giving a little bit of variation to the edge of my paper. And I know it seems kind of crazy because you're like, it's already colored, Amy, but that's what we're looking for, is just a little bit of variation. So it's not so that piece of cardstock is not so uniform. And again, we're adding this is just a little bit of a pop of color. And I really like this Martian Terrain color. So this one is Canyon Clay that I'm using. And I'm just going to go around the side of this and I'm going to go. And Joan, you have 3 nieces' weddings? Oh my goodness, you're going to be scrapbooking for so long. Those are going to be great. I love scrapbooking weddings. I did all of my nieces and nephews. I did their baby books. My kids' baby books, they're a little bit on the older side now, but I worked on theirs. And it's just nice to go back and just look at the pictures and have all the memories. And what I like about scrapbooking versus just a, versus just a photo album is you can add all of the, information that, you're not always going to get when you have the scrapbook. All right. So that's there. And you can see it just gives it a little bit of a subtle change. And I could have even gone in with a stencil. Oh yeah, brown around there looks nice. I'm going to push this up so you guys can kind of see it a little bit. So you just see it's got a little bit of a change to it. And just that little bit of a subtle change works really well. All right. So now we have our photos. We're matted on one side. I'm going to add a little bit more blue here. If I can find my first guy. Oh, here he is. All right, let me pull these off. And then we need a title. And I was wondering if you guys could help me with a title. So I was thinking about like summer fun, family together. What do you guys think? What would you put in as a title? What would you put in as a title for this? So I was thinking like summer vibes, summer fun, family together, connection. What would you put in for your scrapbook page if it was your vacation? Would you put in vacation time? What would you put in? Florida in the sun. Ooh, Sue, that's a good one. Fun in the sun, making memories. Florida in the sun. Well, these are nice ones. All right, so I got this. All right, so I want to add my title, and I have to tell you my hands down favorite die set to use for scrapbooking pages that Altenew makes. That is absolutely just amazing. It is this one, and I think this is the pancake time. I love it, Teresa. Precious moments, Deb. Beach time together. Oh, you guys are great with titles. You guys are doing great. Thank you all. Is this one, and I think this is the cat. Is this the mega bold? This is bold. I use alpha dies for my titles because I can kind of, I can do a lot of things with them. And this is the Altenew bold alpha die set. And I love this. I love how it's clear. The words are really, really big. And it's really great to use. And my favorite thing to do with this is actually to make my own colored paper. So what I start off with, so just grab a piece of white paper, and it's amazing what you can do with a piece of white paper. So I'm going to grab just a piece of white paper. And I want my letters to be gradiented. So it goes from like pink to yellow, yellowy orange to blue. And then I'm going to have my out there. So I'm going to kind of divide this in half, but I want to put my letters so that way, or sorry, I'm going to blend so it's going this way and not down this way, if that makes sense. So I'm going to blend horizontally and not vertically. So I'm going to grab, I need a third blending brush. So I'm going to grab this one here. And I have my blue and I have my canyon that I did. And then I want to grab a piece of paper. And sometimes I'll do this over my work surfaces. I'll just grab like a random piece of paper and then I'll just dye on there. That way I don't have to keep on cleaning up on things. So I'm going to start with the blue because I have that out. And this is the turquoise. And I'm just going to blend this through. So I'm just getting color down, and it's a good idea to grab the size of your letter. So when I do this, I want that blue to be in the bottom third. So I'm not going to go way, way up on the paper. I just want to go right to that little bottom third. Now I'm going a little bit over the third because what I want to do is I'm going to blend in my next color. So I'm going to grab from my Pocket Full of Sunshine set, I think I'm going to grab Fresh Lemon. And this is going to give me yellow, but it's also going to give me a little bit of green. And so we're actually going to see both of those coming up. So I'm going to grab my blending brush. Look at that, I already have blending accidents. Does anyone else like run around and just have ink everywhere on their hands? Because that is me. All right, so you can see that I'm starting to get this green, but then I'm also getting that yellow. And I want that because I'm looking for a gradient. I'm going to go back over with the blue, with the turquoise, and just so I can get that green. So I'm getting like a little bit of a rainbow here. And Florida is such a bright place that I figured it's all these like super nice bright colors would be great. So that's the turquoise, and that's the Fresh Lemon. And then I'm going to actually come in. I'm going to look at this Canyon clay. If this doesn't work for me, I'm going to head over to that Spring Bouquet set, but I'm going to check this out because I think this might actually be pretty cool. This might also be too light. Ooh, that's nice. I think the pink might be too pink. And I might go with a little bit of a darker color than this. This Canyon clay is a little light, but this burnt red might be too dark. Ooh, that's nice. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's see what you guys have. I know, Avril, it's like constantly inky fingers. I can't ever get it off. Oh, family. I like Sun Fun. Ooh, Ian, that one's good. Family Fun Day. That's great. Precious Moments. You guys have, again, great titles. I know. Are you ever a crafter if your fingers aren't crazy colors? I don't know. It's very, very hard. Very, very hard, I have to say. All right, I'm going to go up a little bit more with my turquoise and kind of get that in. And I'm going to come up here. All right, so I think, all right, who's our winner today? Let's see. All right, so now I'm going to grab this, and I have to say, there's one little, and I was on one of the Facebook groups I'm on, and someone had asked about like, do I need a mini die cutter? And I think every single live I do, I use this thing, and every single class I teach, I grab this, and this is the All Too New Mini Blossom. And it's absolutely perfect. You can get these little lines in here. We're not using the whole sheet anyway, so I'm just going to cut a section of it off. And what I'm going to actually do, before I cut that, I'm going to go back in, and so I can get two sides out of this, I'm going to go the other way with my blue. This will make sense in a second once I start cutting these letters out. I think I like some fun in the sun. Oh, Grandpa's pancakes, Sue. That's cute. He did love every single day. I swear he made pancakes for them every single day. They were so spoiled with the pancakes. I lost my yellow. Here it is. All right, so I'm just going to go in with a little bit of that yellow, and I'm going to go back in with the blue. All right, so now I have kind of two sections to pull these off of. And obviously this whole thing won't fit in my mini blossom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it right down the line here. There we go. And so I'm going to die cut. So my letters are going to kind of die cut from here. All right, so let me put these down, grab a little bit of purple tape, which I have right up here. I also keep all my little extra masking tapes. Oh, thanks, Judith. Ooh, food fun, Ann. That's cute. All right, so here is my piece. I think what I'm going to do is I definitely want to do fun. I like fun in the sun or summer fun. Let's do summer fun. So let's do summer. Where is my other piece? I had two of these. Here they are. All right, here's my S. And then you might need some help spelling, everybody. You, you're going to need two M's and an E. And we'll get to the other one in a second. All right, so let's pull these out. I know I need another M and I need an R, and we'll roll these through. And I'm already messed up. Hold on, let's try that again. And I just do this to kind of make sure that I'm on the right gradient so it doesn't look totally weird. So they're all coming out pretty similar. All right, I think I could throw an R in there. Let's try it. Oh, look at that awesomeness. Okay, we got it. And that's what's nice. I can just, and I'm just rolling that right through. Boom. Done. And that's my letters. And you see how nice this gradient looks? So we're getting all of those colors that are in there. So we're getting the orangey pink, we're getting the yellow, and we're getting the blue, which were the colors that we started with. So I'm going to put those through. And it looks a little bit like a sunset, doesn't it? Or a sunrise. Love going to the beach, you know, and like seeing the sunset. So nice. All right, this M we need again. So remember, we got that other piece. So I'm going to push this up. So we need the M. And we need our F and the other U. We need our U back. And we need an N. This may have been the U, but that's okay. They look like. All right, here we go. So we're going to run this through again. Hopefully I can do this without messing it up. Here we go. And my M. All right. I tried, guys. I tried to do it quick. It's like it has a mind of its own, these letters. But this alphabet set is really, I love it for these tiles. It's nice and bold. You can see it, and then you can do techniques with it. Sometimes if the alpha sets are too like small, you can't really see like the blending or these kind of large shading pieces. And so what's really nice about this set is you can see it. Like you can do techniques with this because the letters are so big. All right, so we're going to throw this in here, and then we'll kind of put it together. And how are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing good. All right, let's put that guy to the side. Okay. Just to kind of get these to be a little bit bolder, I could have done another run through and back them up. But again, I'm trying to have little bits of dimension because I am going to be putting this in a frame. And so that kind of gives me a little bit pause about how many layers I can have on things. But I think the color on this is going to make a really big impact. And so that's why I went with this. Oh, all right. You guys are doing good out there. So what do you think so far? Is this anybody inspired? Are you about to go out and find your pictures and kind of put these together? All right. So now we got our letters. So let's bring back our main design. And I'm going to pull this. So that's our letters. We'll put those over on the side. And I just want to show you what these are all going to kind of look like. All right. So here's our main design. So we have our mat. We have our 3 pictures. And we can add summer fun. And so I can put it, which I think I'm going to do, is this way. There we go. So you can see how those just look nice. Oh yeah, I could put summer going vertical so it's down the side. It would work too. A whole bunch of different things, but you can see how that color of those letters kind of bridges it through. I also could take a little bit of shimmer and put some shimmer on there in order to kind of get those to glow up a little bit. Now, I also want to put in a tag to explain, you know, what the heck is going on and everything else. And so I'm actually reaching for this set. And I don't know how many of you guys have this set. This is the holiday tag sentiment set. Now, I know you're all looking at me like, Amy, what are you doing? You're making a summer layout here. Why are you pulling out a holiday tag sentiment set? But with the holiday tag sentiment is a tag die. That's right, guys, this tag die. This tag die is so great, and it's really super helpful because you can do a ton of things with it. And so with this layout, I'm actually going to add a tag that's going to come down, and that's going to tell us what's going on. So I've actually already cut that tag out of here, and I put it right here. Here's my tag. Got it. Now it's very white. It's very, very white, which is, you know, okay. But what we're going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to blend this just like I did the blending of the letters. And so we're going to have that as well, where we're going to have this kind of peach on top, blue on the bottom, and a little bit of yellow in the middle. And then what I can do is grab a piece of paper. If I want to take my sentiment, I want to type it because I don't like my handwriting, then I can take my sentiment and whatever I want to say, and I can put that on here. But this adds just a super fun element to it, and I can adhere it with the metallic thread. So that's going to add a little bit more shimmer there. Oh, good, Mona. I'm glad that you shared. Thanks. Thank you for sharing, Liz. And thank you so much, Elizabeth, for joining us. Absolutely. What we're talking about today is how can we get our pictures off of our phone and put them in there. So this is actually going to be a layout that's not going to go into a scrapbook, but it's actually going to be a layout that's going to go into a frame. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this in my house. And then I can be remembered of my vacation together with my family. All right, so I'm going to take a second. So I'm going to move this again very carefully. And what I'm going to do is bring back my trusty little paper here. And I'm going to grab my blending brushes and I'm going to blend some color. And again, I'm just kind of repeating the use of these elements over and over again. So I'm kind of working within that same frame of using the colors that I chose at the very beginning. And this time I can add a little bit more. Now, if you're like, I'd like a little bit more, in fact, I think I'm going to grab it out, is sometimes what I'll do is I will use a little bit of a stencil. So I'm going to grab my Feeling Dotty stencil. Actually, what do you guys think? I pulled out Feathery stencil. What do you guys think? Which one would you pick? Feeling Dotty or Feathery for this? What do you think? Which one would you go with? Got the Feathery stencil. By the way, I think stencils are 20% off today, or 30. They're on sale today. So you've got a good stencil thing going on. What do you guys think? Which one would you go with? Would you go with Feathery stencil or Feeling Dotty? Feathery. I think I'm with you, Liz. I'm going to see. Oh, Sue, no, Avril, dots. I know, it's tricky. It's really tricky because the Feathery's nice, but the dots is good. Feeling Dotty. All right, I see a lot of Feeling Dotties. Liz, I think you and I are, it looks like everybody's kind of going for dots. So let me know, what do you think? All right, we're going to go for dots. We're going with you guys for some dots. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to roll this over. And it's just going to give a little bit of texture. And that's what's nice about this. In fact, I think I'm going to grab my little bit darker blue. Since I've already kind of gone over that, I'm going to drop my little bit of a darker blue. And I'm just going to go over this with that. Sorry about that. Stencil's a little sticky. And then I'm doing kind of like color on color, if you will. So you end up with this really cool technique where there's a little bit of color of it. Yeah, dots are classic. Yeah. And so you can see it. So the dotty's nice, but you can see that you have this like, because I laid down that light blue color and then the dark blue on top of it. And so it's just a little bit, it just gives it a little bit of texture. All right, so let me go in with the fresh lemon. Actually, let me go in with Citrus Burst first. These are very, very bright yellow, so I'm always a little bit afraid of them. I'm a little hesitant sometimes with these. Okay, so let's just go in. So this is the Citrus Burst. I'm just going to go right over this. And you can see it's already starting to be a little bit green. I love it. And then I'm going to grab my stencil, line up the dots again that I had from before. And then I'm going to go over it with, so that's fresh lemon. This is fresh lemon, not Citrus Burst. And I'm going to go over it with a little bit of a darker yellow, which is this fresh lemon. Just make sure my dots are lined up. And I'm going to go over that. All right. And again, you have this really cool graduation of these dots. Looks like a snakeskin with the blue. That's cool though, right? All right. And then I'm going to add in that canyon clay that we've been using. And then I'm going to go with the burnt red. So I'm going to go grab canyon clay and kind of put this right on the top of that. And again, it's all about building up these layers. And I'm not putting a lot of dimension in. It's just a kind of a lot of different little things that you can add in. Oops. All right, now I'm going to line up these dots again. And I'm going to come over it with this burnt red and see how this goes here. All right, I wish I was left-handed right now. Ooh, this looks good, guys. Whoa. Look at that tag. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So you can see that you have this dimension, but because it's not the dots on white, because we added a little bit of color on the bottom of it. And so that's what you can see. Sorry about that, Jean. I'm gonna keep bringing things up to make you can see it. All right, I'm gonna pause for a second. You guys are what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put this all together. Okay. So we're going to put this all together and then see where we get to. And like I said, I'm making the tag. I'm making the tag so that I can actually type out what I want to say and put it all together. All right. So now let me just take a second. I'm going to clear off my desk and get everything back in here. And we got 15 minutes, so we just enough time to kind of put all of this together and with our time today. And again, if you haven't already, please take a moment to share this Altenew Live with on your social media. And in doing so, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card. You'll be able to win a $15 gift card. So what you want to do is go ahead and make sure that you've shared that. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a moment to put all of this together. Now it's a lot of color, so I'm actually going to grab another stamp set, and this stamp set I absolutely love for some extra kind of things, and that is the Gradient Sunset stamp set. So this is the Gradient Sunset stamp set. And I love this because it has a lot of things. Yeah. So it has a lot of really cool things on there. And we're going to kind of put that together. I know, Rosie, I'm cleaning as I go. It helps a lot, doesn't it? Helps a lot. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp out, because this is Florida and we got a couple of things, I'm going to stamp out the palm tree and this other tree, and I'm going to use them as embellishments on my page. And I've already die cut them out. And the easiest way to kind of do this is to die cut first and then stamp second. And these are pretty solid stamps. These are pretty solid stamps. So what I'm going to do in addition to that is I'm going to use, because I got so much color, I'm actually going to use the Gentleman's Gray. I'm going to use the Gentleman Gray ink. Hi, Cindy from Rhode Island. I am right near you. I am right near you, Cindy. And April, yes, this is perfect for Florida, or really anywhere where you go where there's kind of a beach theme. This is really, really great. And because I'm stamped, so when I put my stamps into the stamp positioner, I lined it up with the die cuts. So I should be able to get some really, really good coverage. And since these are solid stamps, I've used them before, so I shouldn't have an issue. But you can use the a stamp conditioner. Altenew sells a wonderful one, just so you don't get too much splotchiness. Now, what I'm doing here, you guys are like, hello. But what I'm doing here is I'm kind of lining up and making sure everything's all set. And I got to say, I think this palm tree was super great. So let's realign that guy. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to kind of graduate the color a little bit. My tree was good. Palm tree, not so great. So now that I have the base lightest gray on there, I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab the darkest one, which is Charcoal Suit. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to push this on. Then I'm going to go in with Cloudy Night, which is the third one. And Errol, if you had palm trees in Ireland, that would be a little, although very nice though, and tropical. Definitely do not have palm trees in my area either. And then I'm going to finish off with the silver. So I'm going to have a little bit of graduation in my trees, just so they're not totally like one color and all flat. And I don't want them to be too dark either. I just want to give a little bit of a difference in color. All right, so these are my palm trees. So let me show you what we got here in my tree. So you can see we have a little bit of a graduation in color. It came out really nice on this tree, where you have that dark up at the top and on the bottom. And Margaret, thank you. Welcome from Rhode Island, and thank you so much for sharing. What we're focusing on and what we're doing today is we are talking about preserving summer memories, kind of working on that, and taking our products that we have and using them in a little bit of a different way. All right, so now I'm going to take all this, and we get about 10 minutes, so now I'm going to put it all together. So I'm just going to grab tape runner. And I know I put that out. Here it is. And I'm just going to start to tack all these things. And again, you don't need too much tape because this is going to be inside of a frame. I tend to over tape. I'm like an over taper, unfortunately. All right, so now we have that. You can see that nice orange color that's coming up there. All right, I'm going to push this one a little bit lower because I think I want summer to go right in between it. But I want this over on the side. I'm going to try that vertical. That is going to keep vertical. All right, I think I'm going to go horizontal. That's just me. If I had a little bit more time, I'd probably take some shimmer and put it on these letters. But I'm just going to kind of tack these down. And I want to connect them, trying to get the top down to that bottom photo. And I'm just going to tack these down real fast. Okay. All right. Now, if you are like me and you are challenged horizontally and vertically and anything that happens to need to be straight, use something that is straight. I'm going to go outside just a little bit up here. And I'm just kind of going for it. Normally, I'd have my T-ruler and do this up, but I'm going a little bit fast because I want to make sure I get everything done in my time that I have with you today. And thank you so much for spending an afternoon with me. I really appreciate it. And I hope that I've inspired you to grab those photos out of your phone. That M is just not sticking. All right. Now we'll do a little fun. The U's and the N's look very similar. All right, we're going to do that. Now I'm going to grab my trees, which are over here. I'm going to grab this fat tree. Excuse me. Just put that right over there. Grab my palm tree. I'm just going to connect this right under the S if I can lift that up. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to grab my tag, and I'm going to grab just a little bit of things. I'm with you, April. 5'2" on a good day, I know. I'm going to grab the, I think this is Enchanted Gold. This is the Enchanted Gold thread. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on. I can get it off of here. I do use these a lot. All right, here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and grab this, stick it through my tag. And I'm going to put this right over here. What I would do is actually lift that N off. And I'm just going to take it and it's going to go right around the bottom of this S. There we go. Scissors. Super cute. So we have some summer fun with our tag. I'm gonna move that up. What do you guys think? So I'm going to put that into my frame, and that's going to go up on my wall. And I hope that you are going to grab this, use it. Altenew, take your supplies and kind of use them in some different ways. And the color, like I said, the color combo we pulled from the shirts that we had today. and then from our color wheel, and just kind of kept repeating those ideas again and again and again. So you can see the blue that we use, that was really our base color. We have a little bit of the coral, and then we've repeated that blue and coral within the letters and within the tag. And just having that stencil and just giving it that texture is just really, really super nice. We could have even have repeated that stencil on here in order to kind of bring that up again. And then the gray trees, they just kind of tone it down a little bit and just gives you, I know Nancy, technically this is for my dad, but I think I may want to be keeping this. I don't know. It came out really super cute. And Anne, oh, that would be so beautiful, Anne, for your 35th anniversary to frame that. And so just to kind of show you guys, so this is going to end up in this float frame. So when I put it in here, and I did do this on purpose, is I started to take it apart so we could take a look at it together. And these frames are, you know, very inexpensive. They really do not cost a lot. So just to kind of show you guys, so that's what it's going to end up as. So it really looks nice as the frame, and it's something that we can cherish and remember this time together. And I hope that you have learned something, and that this has inspired you to kind of go out and grab those photos off of your phone. So, and the float frames are great, and it's really just perfect sizing for a 12 by 12. So thank you all so much. If you haven't already, please make sure that you have shared this. And just, I just want to kind of take this glass out so you don't have the glare, but you can see that with the frame. And the frame that I got, it's a little bit of like a weathered gray versus having a black, and I like that a little bit better just because now it's going to pick up the gray from these things as well. So that way we can see it. But that's what it's going to end up looking like, and this is going to end up on my wall. So I'm going to flip up a little bit here. So thank you guys so much. I hope that was really super helpful. And I hope that you got a lot of great ideas using some stencils and using stamps and even dies, and how you can kind of incorporate them and use them to create a cherished memory, something that you're going to just really, really love, and something that even in the depths of winter, you're going to look back at that and be like, oh, that was a wonderful vacation that I had. And I hope I get to go to the ocean, or like Avril, you will be hoping that there will be palm trees in Ireland. So I'm with you, Avril. I hope that there's palm trees up where I live too. So thank you guys so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And thank you all so much. If you would like to share any ideas, please add them over to our Altenew fan group, or you can hashtag with Altenew, so that way we can see what you make and how this may have inspired you today. All right, so thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I will see you later.